do it.
You show her what you did.
No, please!
You're so afraid of the
So
truth.
messed up. I just decided I don't feel like reading anything. Yeah, sounds
If
good.
I were the man, I would...
Get back into bed with her.
This man is upset because
Another guy just insulted him. Yeah.
the women in this image are...
The same person at different stages in her life.
I am happiest when I am all alone.
It's not true, but yeah, we'll say that.
When I'm in trouble, I think it's best just to...
Lash out.
The man with his hand raised is a...
Hypnotist.
You can tell the young man is... because of the way he...
Maybe...
Shy.
Yeah.
Women are weaker than men. The little boy dreams of...
Alien abduction.
Yes.
She has stumbled upon...
That's too much.
Yeah. Let's go with a thief stealing the television.
Yeah. Oh god, I feel like a climax.
This is
about to happen.
this is the beginning of what's in the who's?
Resident Evil 7.
No. The Shining.
Oh yeah.
Is this Michael driving up to Portland to go see Dr. Turner?
There's just so much.
He's like,
They must have had a good budget to like make those aerial shots because they didn't have drones back then. Oh, this poor man. I'm on Team Michael. 3333.
3333.
Yes.
Honey, I'm home.
Okay, so that was like a shining shot.
Yeah.
You were right.
Oh, what is it, honey?
Catherine's clinic called and told her she had to return to Portland right away.
Oh, that's too bad.
What are we gonna do?
Get along fine without her, just like we did before.
But Jody...
Jody is gonna be fine.
Last night she was really afraid and I let her sleep in her bed.
No!
Catherine said it was okay.
Just let it go.
I'd expect that. Where is she now? Is she gone?
No, she's upstairs packing.
All right, I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna have a final few words with her. Why don't you go do some knitting and I'll be right down.
She is right that he does like it when she's catatonic, but I think he also knows logically that it's not okay. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Still in uniform, I see.
I'm leaving it on for my final session with Allison.
No more sessions. I want you to leave this house like you're supposed to.
Oh, I'm leaving. But not until my job's done.
Oh, it's done. It's over. It's bye-bye time.
I'm not leaving
So
Allison
who's gonna
in this
be the person who kills
half-catatonic,
everyone?
childlike state. I'm not gonna leave her with a madman and just forget about her. It's time for her to face the truth.
You stay away from her.
I had planned on doing it my way, slowly and carefully. But you ruined that. Somehow I knew you would. Now you forced me to do it shockingly and abruptly.
What are you talking about?
Oh no.
She has to be made to recall that when you crashed the car, Jody's head smashed into the windshield and she
I
died
bet Allison's
instantly.
gonna kill everyone.
There's no more
Hopefully.
time to pretend, Michael.
No!
Yes. You've destroyed everything. And now it's time to kill the doll.
Kill the doll. What are you talking about?
Allison's transformed Jody into the doll. She even slept with it last night.
Don't do this. It won't work.
Yes, it will. Go and look.
What?
Jody's room. Go on.
Oh, my God.
No.
It's good, isn't it? I found that sledgehammer and red paint in the basement. It's quite realistic, don't you think?
What is happening?
It's time for me to do what I was sent here to do.
At this point, I'm just like, all right, just do it. Like, whatever that is that that's happening.
Allison?
Don't. It's too much for her.
You should have thought about that before you interfered with my work.
Let's. You
Allison!
know what?
Let's just.
Are you calling me, Catherine? I have something I want to show you. Do you want me to come up? Right there. I'll be right down.
I won't let you do this.
Then you do it. You show her what you did.
No, please!
You're so afraid of the
So
truth.
messed up.
Allison? Time to
The
face
doll
the
comes
truth.
alive.
Is he gonna- I thought he was
This is
gonna
what
push her
really
over the
happened that
railing.
night in
Going
the
to.
car. You've been living with a lie too long, and Michael has.
Oh my god.
So you remember earlier we answered that question,
So,
like, is it
you're
okay to
leaving.
kill?
What would you do if someone was
Get your
threatening you?
bags.
Kill them?
Yeah. It's okay. I wonder what like the different outcomes are because
Oh my
I remember looking at screenshots and like there was like different versions of different scenes. So I wonder if it could have been like, and then they healthily like they very healthily
Play a little
resolved their issues.
Looks like you're gonna have some company.
No one gonna like acknowledge what's happening. Okay, and then
Well, guess I better do something with the poor thing before she starts to smell, huh, Bunky?
I mean, I can't blame him for all of this, honestly. Like, he's basically standing up to his abuser at this point, for real.
Yeah.
Like, at this point, it's like, yeah, what else was he supposed to do if somebody psychologically tortured him,
Do you know who
took
is-
advantage of him sexually?
Do you know
and,
who's
like,
really the person at fault in this?
Jody,
It's
for
us.
dying. Well, yes, that too.
It's us. We
did this.
Did this.
Agents of Chaos. Wow, that's acting.
your
Just
taxi's
let
here.
yourself get dragged
Let me
like
help
that.
you. Now don't let him overcharge you. Let me get the door.
There's a road right there.
Wow.
She was knitting that whole time. Didn't notice a thing.
So Catherine's finally gone?
Has she?
I put her in a taxi.
I guess you were right all along. We never really needed her.
No. And despite whatever she did or said, Jody never really liked her.
I know. I had a little talk with Jody about that. I thought she'd be upset about Catherine leaving, but she wasn't. As a matter of fact, she said the nurse often frightened her.
I don't doubt it. How would you like it if I cooked you dinner?
Yes,
You'd done
please.
that a month ago. Like,
I know.
Very nice.
What would you like?
no, he just kidding. He was her full-time caretaker,
You
and
decide,
that's
Michael.
valid.
I'm not good at that sort of thing.
Of course,
I
honey.
see.
I'll take care of everything.
Oh my god, what have
Okay, so it's gone back
did
to
we do?
this really fucked up dynamic. And so Catherine was right. He does want her to stay in a catatonic state, and that's wrong. And at the same time, Catherine, I think, was the worst of all of these people.
Oh my goodness.
It's true. That is what he wanted, to just have her be in this catatonic state. And take up the majority of the bed, and... She's gonna
Or she
come
just-
back from the dead. Because, like, he probably hit her in the head, and she's like...
Oh my god. Because we said.
Yeah, we're afraid they're gonna come back from the dead.
What is it, Michael?
Oh, it's the
Dr.
cops.
Turner.
Oh.
Dr. Turner.
Hello, Michael. This place is beautiful. How much of the land is yours?
Down to that corner on the left, over to that fence you can see on your right, and then all the way back to the foot of the mountain.
It's gorgeous. How's Alice?
She's fine. Much better than 3 days ago when Mrs. Randolph left.
I can imagine. May I see her?
Sure. Right this way.
Thank you.
Hello, Dr. Turner. It's very nice of you to come all the way out here to see us.
How are you feeling, Alison?
Oh, I'm fine. Michael's been helping me again. Now that Catherine's gone.
Yes, I'm sorry that didn't work out. You wouldn't consider someone else?
No. Absolutely not.
Right. Then maybe Michael can show me around a little bit. I'm intrigued by these old farmhouses. In fact, my wife was thinking of buying one up on the Green Springs.
Of course. Did a complete remodel last year. You wouldn't believe the kitchen.
Yes. Very nice, Michael. I really just wanted to have a word with you alone about what happened with Mrs. Randolph.
Oh. Sure. I figured that. You know, she killed that dog she forced me to get. She poisoned it, tried to blame it on me. She's trying to turn Allison against me.
Incredible.
Not so incredible once you get to know her. She was a vicious, hateful, arrogant person. She even tried to get me to be unfaithful to Allison.
Well,
She wanted me to do it
try.
so she could use it against me later.
Oh, that's terrible. I don't know what to say.
When she took that doll down from the attic, that was the end.
What doll?
It was Jody's doll. Got it for her when she was 2 or 3, because it was just the same size as she was.
And really creepy.
Miss Randolph dressed it in Jody's clothes. I made her take it with her.
The doll.
Yeah. She killed it.
I don't quite know what you mean.
She smashed its head in. For God's sakes, don't you even know what I'm talking about?
How did she leave? Did you drive her to the airport?
Well, I put her in a cab.
And you told the taxi driver to take her to the airport?
No, I didn't tell him anything. I just put her in the car with her bags.
And the doll?
Yeah, Look, I don't even want to talk about her anymore. I don't want to think about her.
I understand how you feel.
No, you don't. I tried to tell you and you wouldn't listen. That woman should have never been sent here. Malpractice to send her. You don't know what she tried to do. What she might have done if I hadn't stopped her.
What did she try to do?
He just told you.
Yeah.
She tried to kill Jody. She tried to blame it on me in front of Allison. It was my fault. Jody would cry whenever Allison would make her wear the seatbelt. What could I do? Allison would say, drive slower, Michael, drive slower. I did drive slow. Sometimes you're not thinking about it and you go a little faster.
Of course.
Mrs. Randolph, she wanted me to suffer. She had a doll in her arms and blood.
Where was this?
It's upstairs. I mean, on the stairs.
What did you do?
I couldn't let her go on with it. Allison was going to pieces. So I stopped her.
How?
I hit her. Had to. Afterward, when it was over, it was time to go, she understood. Put her bags in first.
Where did you put her bags?
Put the hammer in too.
In the cab?
Yeah. It's right out there, parked beside the dog grave.
And that mound of dirt out there, that's where you buried the dog.
It was hard for me to pick up that doll. And to throw a tablecloth over it. She dressed it in Jody's clothes. You understand why I had to use a tablecloth?
Oh, of course.
I thought I heard Jody crying. I'll go see what she wants.
Oh, I can do it.
No, it's all right.
Allison is a warm, loving person. And I know that whatever you did it to protect her.
I'll always protect her.
Michael, Mrs. Randolph is still on your land, isn't she?
No. She left in a cab. I put the suitcases in myself.
Should just
But
said
if she
I
were
told her
still
get the
here.
fuck out.
You'd want her to be taken away, wouldn't you?
You're damn right I would.
Well, then I think we should check it out. Just to be on the safe side. It has to be done.
Okay.
Good. Then why don't you go and see Allison? And, I must make a few important telephone calls.
You don't know how it was or you'd understand.
Oh, I'm sure you're right.
Oops. I like how they're like, okay, she's dead, but sexily put one leg out.
But yeah.
Just
yeah.
one sexy leg.
she did. Oh, God.
Well, it's all over now.
It's good.
Would you like anything to eat or drink?
No, thank you. Actually, we've all got to get going. Both you and Michael. He has to see some people, and we don't want to leave you here alone.
Oh, I can wait for him. I've waited for him before. I'm not afraid of being alone.
You may have to wait quite a long time before he comes back.
How long?
More than a few hours.
But what about Jody?
Well, I didn't want to alarm you, but I've called for another ambulance to take her to the hospital.
Why?
Well, she needs additional treatments. You wouldn't like her to get any worse.
No.
You'll be with her in the next room. You'll even be able to sleep there.
I will? Oh, then I'll have to pack some things for Jody.
I'll wait for you. I'm going to drive you to the hospital myself.
Will Michael be coming?
No, he will be going with the police officers.
Is there a good ending?
Why?
Well, because he says there was
They
a
wanna talk to
tragedy
me
in the
about
house
Catherine.
at the very
That's right.
beginning.
Yeah. I wonder if it's like it just depends
I
on
won't
who
be
gets
long.
murdered.
Yeah. Or who murders who.
Yeah.
It's like
Alice?
Clue, but way more fucked up.
Yeah.
Yes, Michael?
I love you.
I know that's silly.
Yeah, silly.
Dude, is this gonna be like The Usual Suspects where like everyone goes and she goes,
Well,
I fucking
get
know
this
she's
over with.
dead.
The sooner we get started, the better for everyone.
She drops a
The right
coffee
attitude,
cup.
Michael. Don't worry about Allison. We'll take good care of her.
It says Jody on the bottom.
And this time, there better not be any more Mrs. Randolphs.
No more mistakes.
No, you're going to prison, sir.
Yeah.
Well, do you know that? This poor man. Another job well done by us, ruining
Yes.
everyone's lives.
Wow. We really outdid ourselves on this one, I
Wow.
feel.
Join us next time on Chaos Ruins Everything.
This is why nobody chooses the Renegade playthrough. You have to be brave to stick it out.
I know. I don't have the strength. Only Stacy does.
Can you hear that? I haven't heard that since I was a little boy. Shh.
the heartbeat of the earth.
It's there. It's the Earth's heartbeat. It's there after all this time. It was always a secret of mine that I wanted to share with Jody. All thing that I wanted to tell her and I never did. That's the one I regret the most.
Oh, no. Wow. We really did it this time.
I wonder if people will be like, why are you okay with this game and not okay with the suicide of Rachel Foster? At least in this game, all the fucked up things are like... They're like, this is fucked up and wrong.
Yeah, well, and I think,
yeah.
yeah.
And also, it's a little less serious and weird, but... Because in the suicide of Rachel Foster, it literally went... why wouldn't people just accept that love? And I was like, and in this one, it's like, no, everything was fucked up and wrong. Like, and I like that they kind of called out all of the characters except for Allison for their, like, messed up thing. Because even though Michael was a victim of Catherine, they still were like, yeah, but Michael, you're being fucking weird.
Yeah, well, and I think that they still, you know, the game doesn't sit there and be like, yes, Allison should just be allowed to continue this way forever. Like,
Yeah.
so even though it's like she's not being called out in the same way as Catherine and Michael, like, the game still criticizes her.
Yeah.
That, like...
Not, I wouldn't say criticize, but points out that there is an issue.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know. I think that...
I think this could have been handled way worse, and I think they did a pretty good job making it the most fucked up thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I liked it. I enjoyed this game, and I
feel, you know what I feel like? I feel like the game does criticize Allison because from all the radio recordings that you hear, there's a lot of people that are in a fucked up situation and they don't get themselves out of it, and the radio host calls them out on staying stuck.
Yeah.
And what I felt like the game was trying to say was that, like, yes, you can be in this, like, really horrible, depressed place.
Yeah.
But to a certain extent, you have to, like, pull yourself out of it a little bit, or at least be receptive.
I think Allison was in a state where she didn't even know anything was wrong, though. Like, at that point, she needed, like, medication and, like, institutionalized care. I don't think she could have done it on her own.
Oh, no,
And
I agree.
And then, like, on top of that, she was given a caretaker who definitely took advantage of that,
Yeah.
for sure.
And I think that was, like, the game pointed to those things also. But I did feel like there was a little bit of, like, you know, because oftentimes with mental health treatment, like, there's only so much that a therapist and medication can do.
Yeah.
You have to, like... I'm not saying, like, people have to, like, pull themselves up by their bootstraps or, like, fix themselves, because that's definitely not the case.
Yeah.
I just mean that, like... if a person 100% does not want to recover,
Yeah.
they're not going to,
Yeah.
you know?
And sometimes I think people need help in identifying what it is. Because it was really hard for me to get, I'm still depressed all the time, but, like, I couldn't figure out what it was until I identified some of the key factors and got rid of them. And I was like, wow, this is a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
This is a lot easier once I've identified some things that were kind of sabotaging my recovery without realizing it. And so I was like, wow, this is so much easier because I have so much more emotional energy not dealing with these very particular things.
Mm-hmm.
More specifically, one person intentionally trying to sabotage me. And yeah, and then that got a lot easier. So
Yeah.
and in terms of Allison, I think that she was surrounded by people who consciously or subconsciously were trying to sabotage her recovery.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like she might get better with institutionalized care for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. This was really messed up.
This was really messed up, but I feel like the characters never felt like this would never happen. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like these are just three people who just came together in the worst possible time.
Yeah.
I feel like they were on the extremes of what could possibly happen, but I never felt like...
Listen,
if
you've ever read a Florida Man story, you know that people like this exist.
Yeah, I felt like even though everyone was acting really extreme, I always felt like I understood why they were doing the things they were doing. Because, and, like, that's always, I feel, really important, because sometimes when people write about dysfunctionality, people are just acting in ways just because they go, like, and then they do this, and the reason is because they're, you know, mentally unstable. But at least I understood the motivations of why different people were doing the things they were doing.
Well, you know, that reminds me of, like, you know, when you see, like, you know, for instance, like crime shows, and like the reason for a person being a serial killer is like because they are bipolar or schizophrenic or whatever.
Yeah, and I hate
it's
that.
like, and I hate that, and it's like that could be true, but there has to be, you have to, like,
There's a core reason.
there's a core reason and logic that you have to, like, write about, you know?
Yeah, because I feel like
Each of these characters, they had a set of motivations. They had a lot logic, even if it was their own logic to their
Yeah.
actions, so that when they did things, it felt like it made sense in the context of the character. Like, they were really messed up, but also you'd be like, yeah, that seems like something Michael would do, or that seems
Yeah.
like something Catherine would do.
yes,
You know?
yes. So I feel like, especially for its time period, it did a really good job
Of being messed up.
of being messed up and not just saying people are crazy just because they're crazy. You know, I think it was a little more self-aware. It was still trash, but I
was
feel
fun
like
trash.
it was fun trash. So
Thank you for joining us.
overall, I really
and-
enjoyed it.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm just really emotionally exhausted now, so goodbye.
Bye.